Right, welcome back to the channel. Following on from the last episode where we put the valves back in the cylinder head. This week engine's back on the bench. We're actually going to get the cylinder head back on the barrels. Obviously there's quite a few bits to go in before the head can go back on. We've got some O-rings on each side. I'll show you in close in a minute. Obviously the head gasket and some of the timing wheels that slot in, and part of the cam chain tensioner wheel that fits in here. Right, so the assembly for the tensioner wheel that sits in here, I've just restuck the rubbers, so that's drying. That's all for the top wheel. These are the rubbers that I was on about, that basically sit in there. That's the other wheel, that's drying. So this wheel fits in here, and this one sits in here. Obviously when I looked at this before, I'm thinking, well, that gap is bigger, how is that going to fit? I've actually checked the manual and it actually fits up the other way. The underside of the cylinder head has this big cutout, so it actually faces with the dampers facing down and then fits in underneath. Obviously I'll show you that later. Right, over this side, brand new head nuts, washers, so 12 of each, and the cam end covers. Actually obviously fit in there. Right, I was looking at the manual. So this one here is the actual back one with that's the tensioner unit, so it's actually fitting upside down, where the one at the front, which is this one, will sit the correct way as it is now. That will just slot straight in. So obviously when I fit these, I need to loosen some of the slack on the cam chain so I can fit that in. Same on the other side. Right, also the other main pointer as well. This is the actual climber manual, so there is a torque pattern for the actual nuts. So a lot to get through today. I say today I probably won't need these because obviously the rocker's not going on. I've got obviously all the cams to go back in. But say I just wanted to double check in the manual because it didn't make sense when actually looking at the head. So right way up, upside down, and this inlet is actually in the other side of the cylinder head. And then the head gasket actually fits that way round with the writing up. There have been instances where these fit the other way round, but very rare. With the Athenas, they're normally the printed side facing upwards. So quite a lot to get through, but it should be good. So let's crack on. Right, so first thing, got my diagram, just double checking. Actually I don't need to slacken this off. These fit as they are, and then it expands out round, so the wheels actually go in. It's not actually that way, it's just the wheels straight in. So glad I checked my diagram. I think I said in a earlier episode there's obviously two different styles of cam chain tensioner. This is the one I have here. I say that's not going to go in yet. That needs to be, the actual main casing needs to be cleaned, and a few of the bolts as well. But say we're mainly concentrating on this wheel and this wheel split through, which is here drying, and the other wheel which is sitting there drying. So I can leave the cam chain as it is, fit the wheels over with the gasket and then over with the head. Alright, so the wheels, the actual rubber mounts are now dry. That's the first one in place. That's the second one. Right, so in with the rubber O-rings. So next will be the head gasket. Right, after much fiddling around, looks like I did have actually the gasket up the wrong way, so the printed side is actually facing downwards. It didn't line up. Turning it over and putting it back on this way, it's actually fitted in perfectly. So I was wrong in my assumption that the printed side goes up. Something to learn. Right, so the next thing to do will be get the cylinder head on, because the only other timing wheels are right at the very top, which is this one here that attaches there. Right, so let's see if I can get this cylinder head on without dropping anything. Right, and that is on. It was a bit fiddly. All the studs are through. So there's my 12 washers. And 12 nuts. So that's the first 6. So that's the first 6 in position, and then I'll do exactly the same on the other side. Alright, so I'm just going to go finger tight with these. Well, finger and socket tight. Right, and the same for the back ones, they're already in place now. Just this last one. Right, so they're all back in. The only other bolts I've got to install, if you can see it, there's one down there, and get my head out of the way, you can see, and one there. Right, just dug out the 2 bolts I need. So it fits down here, basically holds that in place in there. Same on the other side. I've also dug out the rocker cover screws. Should be 24, I only have 23, so I'm going to have to see if I can get another one, but these need to be cleaned up, but I'll do that with the rocker cover. So next job, let's get these 2 installed. Right, hopefully you can see there. That's the first one. I'm going to put my finger in the way because I don't want this dropping down inside the engine. Right, so there's one there, and the other one just there. So with these two I need to check the torque setting on them. Right, so that's them two bolts in, wheels are in place. Everything's still turning. Right, what I might do for now is actually grab intake camshaft and just loosely put it in place through this camshaft, through this cam chain. Right, so that's the camshafts. As you can see, they're in a bit of a state, they need a really good clean, but I'm just going to use it for now just so I can actually put it through and then I can unhook. Actually, I might even throw in the other one for now. So this is not staying, it's just purely so I can see if everything's lining up, and it is on the cogs that were installed inside here. So these will need to come out and be cleaned. They are in a bit of a state. Right, the other thing I want to check is the actual two bolts, so I'm going to have to move these anyway. Just need to check the torque settings. Alright, I've actually found the actual bolts. These ones here, which is number 23. 16 to 20, if you can see that, 16 to 20 foot-pounds. So that's what we will get them torqued in at. So, alright, so just move that one out of the way. Torque wrench is set. Exactly the same again for the rear. Alright, and that's the back one done. Right, so last bit I want to do is actually torque down these bolts. So hopefully you can see that there's the pattern. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So the actual torque setting on that is actually 27 to 31 foot-pounds. Right, so I'm actually going to do this in stages. It says 27 to 30 foot-pounds. I'm actually going to do the first run through at 20. and then do it again, and then go round again. So that'll be number 1. That's number 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. And 6. 7. 8. 9. That's 10. Right, last 2. And number 12. Right, so that was at 20 foot-pounds, and they're saying 27 to 31, so now I'm going to adjust and go up again. Right, so I'm going in the middle, I'm going at 28, and literally the same pattern over again. Right, so that's all of them torqued down. I say I did a 2-stage torque. I believe it was Mega Kuntash that suggested that idea. But no, pleased. I say I'm just leaving that loose. These will be coming back out. I'm going to give them a good clean up. But I say it stops me dropping the cam chain. But nice to see this finally going back together. But that'll be just about it for today. So a quick clean up and I'll finish up. Alright, so thanks for joining me on that one. Hope that one was helpful. It was definitely a learning experience for me. I'm glad it's actually got this far. As I say, all I've done is, as I say, the camshafts are actually just loose in there, so I can keep the chain from dropping. They will be coming out, they will be cleaned. I've obviously put the caps on top just loose, just so I know where everything is. I say, as you can see how loose they are. It's just so I don't lose them. They're in the right order. But it helps me start to visualise how things are going, what it should be like, because obviously this was in pieces. I do need to get these cleaned up, and I need to get another one if they're still available, because obviously I'm one short. But no, really happy. As I say, any comments in the comments box below, let me know if I've done anything wrong. As far as I'm aware, as I say, I've gone through the climber manual, I've read that. Obviously I've got my book, which has really helped me through. As I say, I've got the Haynes manual as well, and plus obviously your comments and research online. But happy with this stage. So as I say, that just about wraps today up. So thanks for watching, and join me again next time. Cheers. Bye.